Welcome to Contemporary Black Voices, where we take on the most pressing issues affecting Black America. I am your host, Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell, and with me today are my co-hosts, one being best-selling author and African and foreign affairs researcher, Caleb Alexander, as well as business owner and community activist, Chris Dawkins. Well, this is our second week of our watch on the current updates on the California wildfires. The Santa Ana winds have died down across LA, allowing the firefighters to bring much of the fire under control. Now, the causes of the fire still remain unknown. However, there's a focus on a specific scorched slope to discover the origins of the largest blades in the Palisades. So attention is already turned to the vast damage or devastation that followed the fires, with California Governor Gavin Newsom promising a rebuilding effort that can cost tens of billions of dollars. So with that being said, there are many questions many have, especially related to the water. Hence, these are some of the questions to consider. What happened to the water? Should the wealthy be allowed to have a large percentage of water rights? And at what point should the eminent domain be declared in an emergency? And are natural disasters exposing water management vulnerabilities more in Black communities? So we have a lot to talk about today, but before you get started, please tap on the subscribe button to be able to get notices of upcoming shows. And in addition, please hit the like button as well as share this and other shows with family and friends. So you guys ready to get started with this?
Ready.
Ready? So let me put some of this into context. What happened to the water? So blame again and misinformation as well as disinformation have swirled around the destruction of thousands of homes in LA. In the case of the wildfires, there were ongoing reports of loss in water to some local fire hydrants during the fires and the reported unavailability of water supplies. LA County Public Works Director Mark Pastrella said, while water supplies from local fire hydrants are not designed to extinguish fires over large areas, losing supplies from the fire hydrants likely impaired the effort to protect some homes and evacuation corridors. So on January 8th, Los Angeles Fire Department Public Information Officer Eric Scott posted on X about how water supplies and dry conditions had negatively affected the firefighting efforts, despite the fact that the LA Fire Department the LA Department of Water and Power filled all available water tanks in the area. Water availability was impacted at high elevations, which affected some fire hydrants due to limited replenishment of water tanks in those areas, he wrote. The extreme demand caused a slower refill rate of those tanks, which created a challenge for our fighting effort. So, if the population is dense and houses are being built closer together along with other operational factors, can we really depend on water being available if the water systems are being overtasked?
Well, let me first of all ask you about what was the first guy you mentioned?
Mark Pastrella.
Yeah. So if he says that a water hydrant is not meant to extinguish a fire, what the hell are they for?
Well, let's get it right. We don't want to do no misinformation here. Okay. What he said was over large areas. In other words, you got a fire hydrant right here, and maybe the fire hydrant is designed to cover so many buildings. Now we're going to talk about.
Well, read what else he said. He said extinguish a fire over, what'd you say, a large area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why you have fire hydrants put every so it has a distance between them, so that fire hydrant is supposed to cover a certain area of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got another fire hydrant. But the question is, for me, is if he's saying it's not meant to extinguish a fire, what is it for?
A large area of fires.
Okay. a large area. So you got many fire hydrants. So many fire hydrants together, they should be able to extinguish a fire. If not, what are they for?
So I was going to save this for the last segment.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're using multiple fire hydrants, that lowers the pressure for all of them.
Okay.
And that was probably one of the factors, is that they were using such a volume of water that it significantly lowered the water pressure on all of them. And that was one of the major issues.
So that then brings up the question that Sharon was asking about whether or not we're adequately prepared for disasters such as this that do cover a large period. If that pressure is down and they cannot do that, then that's a fault. And what we hire politicians for is to be able to make sure that those things don't happen. So to me, I mean, we've been around, we've been on this earth a number of years. That should have been figured out a long time ago.
So,
So
go ahead.
one of the things I did find out, and you learn, our learning curve is just going up over a lot of things. But these fire hydrants, and I have seen them, but I really didn't question why one fire hydrant in San Antonio is silver, another fire hydrant is yellow, but the fire department, the water companies, and I guess in the fire department, color the fire hydrants based on how much output that hydrant can do per minute, gallons per minute. So, for example, a red coloring is used, could be used on fire hydrants that have a fire capacity of less than 500 gallons per minute.
What has the highest one now?
The highest one is 15,000 gallons per minute.
What color?
Well, in this case, blue. But again, I think that you have to find out in your particular city what those colors mean for those various hydrants.
So you're saying in different cities it can mean different things?
It could be different colors, right? And we need to know, like down my street, because I walked out to find out where the hydrant was in my street. So we've got a silver hydrant down the street, so I can guess that hydrant probably kicks out 500 gallons per minute.
Maybe about 1,000 or so. So like the blue ones you would see downtown. You know what I mean? Something in a major area where the buildings are taller, is more compact, more buildings, you would see something that puts out the maximum amount of gallons would be located like downtown.
And then they got another color in some areas where it's orange. It could be orange, and it kicks out between 500 to 1,000 gallons per minute. And then another color where the flow capacity could be between 1,000 to 1,500. So again, these are not universal colors. But I think that for us, we need to find out, okay, so if I see a silver fire hydrant, how much does that one kick? Now, I do know that the silver one down my street, probably guesstimate maybe, 500 to 1,000. But I saw one on the main road, a yellow one. So I can guess that one has a stronger output. But can we prepare for this?
Well, let me ask a question. Do we know for sure that this is not universal, this color coding?
Well, the only reason why I say I'm assuming it's not universal, because when I did my drive around, because rest assured, I went out looking for the fire hydrant. And of course, I was looking for a red one. I was surprised to see a silver one. And when I was doing the research, they didn't talk about silver. So I can only guess, I can only make assumptions that it's not necessarily, it may be a state color event, the colors may be state oriented. So we're gonna go ahead and stop here. We want to come back though and talk about the water question in LA.
When we come back.
When we come back.